Run your tongue over your teeth right now. Feel that? Every ridge, every smooth surface, that's the result of something you did or didn't do this morning. Now imagine you've never owned a toothbrush. Not a cheap one, not a bad one. None at all, ever, for your entire life. That was the reality for the overwhelming majority of humans who have ever lived. And yet, almost every single person alive today does the exact same small ritual, twice a day, without thinking about it. Few objects on Earth are touched by more human mouths than this one, and it's a genuinely massive industry now. Global spending on oral care, toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, mouthwash tops $45 billion a year. An object this small, this disposable, this easy to ignore has become one of the most universally owned tools on the planet. If you've never thought about where your toothbrush actually came from before this exact video, hit subscribe now, because this channel exists for exactly that feeling. Here's the problem with tracing its origin. Toothbrushes are made of things that disappear. Bristles rot. Wood and bone handles splinter and vanish. There's no toothbrush from 10,000 years ago sitting in a museum case, because nothing survives that long in a human mouth's daily wear. So historians aren't digging up brushes. They're digging up chew sticks, frayed twigs, and the rare written or carved records someone left behind describing how they cleaned their teeth. And those records go back far. In ancient Babylon around 3500 BC, and in ancient Egypt around the same period, people used chew sticks, thin twigs with one end frayed by chewing or crushing until it formed a rough, brush-like fan, then rubbed against the teeth. Some Egyptian tombs contained these sticks buried alongside their owners, treated as personal items worth carrying into the afterlife. In parts of the Islamic world, the miswak, a twig from the Salvadora persica tree with natural antibacterial properties, became a widely used and religiously encouraged tool for oral hygiene, a practice still followed by millions of people today. This wasn't primitive guesswork. People had already figured out thousands of years before toothpaste existed that keeping the mouth clean mattered enough to build a daily habit around it. Quick question while we're here. Did you know the miswak is still used today by millions of people? Drop a comment if that surprised you. I read everyone. The bristle brush, the shape we'd actually recognize, comes from Tang Dynasty China, roughly the 7th to 10th century AD. Coarse hog bristles were fixed into a handle carved from bone or bamboo, creating something remarkably close to a modern toothbrush nearly 1,300 years before one existed in the West. When European travelers encountered these brushes centuries later, they were struck by how effective and deliberate the design was and slowly began adapting it, though early European versions used softer horsehair, since hog bristle was considered too coarse for European tastes. For most of history, though, owning any kind of dedicated tooth-cleaning tool at all was a mark of privilege. Poorer populations across most cultures relied on rags rubbed with salt or soot, or nothing at all. And dental pain was often treated not with prevention, but with extraction. A barber or blacksmith pulling a rotten tooth with pliers. No anesthesia, a routine, and often public event. A clean, functioning set of teeth wasn't just health. For centuries, it quietly signaled that you were someone who could afford to take care of yourself. The true mass-market toothbrush arrives in England in 1780, credited to William Addis, who, according to popular account, first designed his version while in prison, carving a handle from a leftover animal bone and drilling small holes into it, then threading it with bristles from a guard-supplied brush. Whether every detail of that story is exactly accurate or partly legend, Addis went on to found a toothbrush manufacturing company that operated for generations, turning a personal fix into a commercial product for the first time. If you like watching everyday objects get taken apart like this, go watch our video on the bed right after this one. It's the closest sibling to this story. The final leap was material, not shape. In 1938, DuPont introduced nylon bristles, replacing animal hair entirely, marketed as Dr. West's Miracle Toothbrush. Nylon didn't rot, didn't hold bacteria the way natural bristle did, and could be mass-produced with total consistency. Combined with fluoride toothpaste becoming standard by the 1950s, the toothbrush finally became what it is now: cheap, hygienic, and universal, rather than a privilege. And that's where this story bends the same way the others have. Because even with a nearly perfect tool sitting in almost every bathroom on Earth, global rates of tooth decay haven't disappeared, they've shifted. modern processed diets packed with sugar in forms ancient humans never regularly encountered are outpacing what brushing alone can undo. At the same time, dental researchers have documented that aggressive overbrushing, using too much pressure or a brush that's too stiff, can wear down enamel and irritate gums, meaning the tool built to protect your teeth can, used wrong, quietly damage them instead. So here's the honest answer. The toothbrush wasn't invented once. It was a frayed twig in Babylon, a religious ritual twig in the Islamic world, a bone-handled brush in Tang Dynasty China, and a nylon-bristled product from a 1938 American lab, each one solving the same basic problem in whatever material was on hand. Tonight, somewhere, a factory is molding plastic handles by the million, and somewhere else, someone is chewing the end of a raw twig, doing more or less exactly what people were doing 5,000 years ago. If you want the next everyday object taken apart like this one, subscribe and turn on notifications because the next video is already in the works.